There is something strange buried in the work of the most aggressive critic of religion in Western history, a passage that scholars often skip over. In The Antichrist, the book where Nietzsche declares war on Christianity, Nietzsche pauses, and he praises Buddhism. He calls it 100 times more realistic than Christianity. He says it is beyond good and evil. The man who spent his career demolishing religion looked at Buddhism and saw something he could respect. Why? Let us strip Buddhism to its philosophical core. The Buddha taught 4 things. Life contains suffering, not as punishment, simply as fact. Suffering has a cause. Craving, the desperate reaching for things to be other than they are. Suffering can end, through understanding, through letting go. And there is a path, the Eightfold Path. Right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration. This is not commandments. It is a training regimen. Notice what is absent. No God, no sin, no guilt, no punishment, no eternal soul. The Buddha refused to answer metaphysical questions. The house is on fire, he said. Do not ask who started it. Help me put it out. In The Antichrist, Nietzsche makes a direct comparison between Buddhism and Christianity. Christianity, he argues, is a religion of resentment. It took the values of the strong and inverted them. Power became sin. Pride became arrogance. The weak created a moral system that made their weakness virtuous. The priest needed you to feel guilty, because only a guilty person needs a savior. Buddhism, Nietzsche saw, is the opposite. It does not create guilt. It does not invent sin. It diagnoses a problem, suffering, and offers a practical solution. No threats. No promises of paradise. Just, here is why you hurt. Here is how to stop. Nietzsche praised its cool, objective approach. Its freedom from the concept of God. He saw something closer to philosophy than religion. But he also saw danger in Buddhism. The same danger he saw in Schopenhauer, world denial. The danger of saying no to life itself. Here is where Nietzsche and Buddhism part ways. Buddhism sees suffering as a problem to be solved. Nirvana is the extinguishing of the flame, the end of craving, the end of attachment. Nietzsche sees this as nihilism disguised as wisdom. To want to end suffering is to want to end life. Because suffering is not a bug in human experience. It is the core of it. Every great achievement in history was born from suffering. Every work of art, every breakthrough, all required someone to endure something that hurt. Buddhism says, transcend suffering. Nietzsche says, use it. Both thinkers reject the permanent self. Buddhism teaches anatta, no self. What you call you is a shifting collection of sensations and thoughts. Nietzsche arrives at a similar conclusion. The self is not a given. It is something you must create. Both agree the self is not fixed. Buddhism says, see through the illusion and be free. Nietzsche says, if the self is not given, you are free to build it. One dissolves the self. The other constructs it. Nietzsche is famous for rejecting pity. He calls it the most dangerous emotion. It preserves the weak and rewards victimhood. True compassion means helping someone become stronger. But Buddhism also teaches compassion, karuna, the wish for all beings to be free from suffering. This compassion is not pity. It is the recognition that we are all burning, and the only response is to help put out the fire. Both Nietzsche and Buddhism reject pity. Both arrive at a clear-eyed, unsentimental compassion. Schopenhauer is the bridge. He was the first Western philosopher to take Buddhism seriously. The young Nietzsche was a devoted Schopenhauerian, but he broke with Schopenhauer's pessimism. Yet late in life, Nietzsche continued to express respect for Buddhism. He recognized a version of Buddhism that does not run from the world, but learns to see it clearly. So what do we do with all of this? Nietzsche and Buddhism are not compatible systems, but they share something rare. Both demand that you look at reality without flinching. Both tell you that suffering has causes you can understand. Both tell you the self is not what you think, and that this is good news. The Buddhist path is gentler. It is a path of letting go, of finding peace through acceptance. The Nietzschean path is harder. It is a path of saying yes to life even when it hurts, of using suffering as fuel. But perhaps these paths are not as opposed as they appear. The Buddhist who has fully accepted impermanence and the Nietzschean who has embraced eternal recurrence. Both have made peace with reality. Both found freedom and clarity. Nietzsche and Buddhism are two of the most honest systems ever created. Neither offers comfort. Neither promises salvation. Both demand that you grow up. Buddhism asks, what causes your suffering, and how can you end it? Nietzsche asks, what are you doing with your suffering, and what could you become? Both questions matter. And Nietzsche, the great destroyer of religion, looked at Buddhism and saw a fellow traveler. Someone who also refused to lie. Someone who also demanded clarity. That is the highest compliment one philosopher can pay another. And it is the one Nietzsche paid to the Buddha.